Hello everybody, Sky Marshal here, back in the Lion's Den, bringing you Operation Dark Horizon, and it's the Soviet and C.C.P turn, 11.2. We are in July of 1941, and sure enough, the game is afoot. Right now, the British and the German powers are duking it out across the channel. It's kind of the Battle of Britain right now. With damage on London factories and so on and so forth. German bomber was just shot down. Norwegian ship was just sunk off the coast of Oslo right there by German Luftwaffe and U-boats, as well as the Swedish have joined Norway, or have joined, not Norway, joined the Germans. They've renamed all the Swedish boats to German names. The Hanover, the Schleswig, the Albatross, and the U-5. And this is what the Germans now have. They have a brand new navy. And we'll see what happens here with this, because obviously they don't like the Russians creeping around Sweden, so the Swedes decided to align to the Germans. However, we're going to be doing a few attacks this turn, and we're going to be attacking southern Norway, getting revenge from the Norwegian resistance up there that's cost Stalin a victory in Oslo. And we're also going to be invading Iraq this turn. And that's about it. Those are the countries we are going to declare war on this turn as the Soviet Union. And a few non-combat turns. What are our buys? Well, an interesting buy, to say the least. This turn we're going to be lend-leasing a medium bomber to the Italians. We're also going to be lend-leasing a strategic bomber to the Germans, since we do feel sorry for them with the British anti-aircraft gun just wiping out their bombers. So we figured maybe a German-built bomber or a Soviet-built bomber will have a better fighting power. But because of the current situation right now, and the Americans building the 5th battleship, and the French fleet in the Mediterranean supporting the British, and the Americans coming over, and of course the Germans just completing the Bismarck, we feel it's time for us to build our own battleship. So the Sovietsky Soyuz is going to be laid down with her 16-inch guns and be the pride of the Russian Baltic fleet. But on top of that, we feel the Naval Procurement Office needs a carrier with air support. So we're going to lay down the Ismail, and hopefully she'll do us well in the Baltic Sea there, providing air support for our Navy. So that'll be a fun little exciting thing for the Navy to look forward to. But in the meantime, the Army and Air Force their budgets have been slashed once again because of other areas right now. So we're only going to be building 3 militia, 1 factory, and 2 mountain this turn. And we'll get to that in a bit. But in the meantime, we're going to be rolling tech. We're only going to be rolling 3 techs this turn, because we're moving a factory. That's what we're doing. So let's do this right now. We are going to roll for improved factories, 7 or more. And that's a big old miss. We're going to roll for jet fighters, 8 or more. And that's a 6, good old miss. And strategic rockets, 9 or more. And a 1. Wow, that's a great tech roll there. Might as well just leave them rolled. So now we're going to be going on to the C.C.P turn. Just get that over and out of the way. And it's just basically going to involve a bunch of rolls. We're going to spend $1 to influence the Suyan province. And we're going to spend $3 to build one infantry in Shensi. And that's the chip right there. So let's do that. We're going to be rolling a 3. We're trying to get a 3. Or less to influence that warlord. And that's a big no. And we're going to roll a recruitment roll for 2 or less. And that's a big no. Well, seems like I got all my luck in 1 turn, which is the sad truth. So now we are going to be building 1 more infantry in that zone, which we have a total of 3 infantry, 2 mountain, 2 cavalry, and a whole lot of militia. Probably 6, 7, 8 militia. But we can count that later. So right now, let's get into our attack, shall we? And this is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be taking this transport plane here in Lapland, flying 1, 2, 3 into southern Norway, giving us a 3 to return with wherever we want to go. We are picking up this airborne along the way and landing him into southern Norway to maximize our attacks. We are going to be taking our entire navy and moving her with this transport out of Leningrad, but picking up 2 Marines right here from Leningrad, and we will go into southern Norway as well. And the entire navy will move there. We'll also be bringing in our sub as well, part of the attack, but obviously not. It's a non-combat movement, but we'll move it into that sea zone anyways. So all the Russian ships are together for now. And we get 2 land bombardment shops, one with the battlecruiser Stalingrad and one with the heavy cruiser the Kirov. So we get to do those first as well and see what we get. So we'll be attacking with those units. And on top of that, we're going to be attacking with a tactical bomber from the airbase. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it can land back here. So it's going to have a movement of 1. And what we're going to probably do is move the 7th Army in a non-combat movement into this area here. But we'll worry about that later. And then down here, we're going to have a little bit of fun and play a dicey game. We're going to be bringing in 2 cavalry, 1 from Transcaucasia and 1 from southern Iran into northern Iraq. And then in southern Iraq, we're going to bring in 2 cavalry as well. And the fighter is going to support one of these battles. It's probably going to support the northern front, and the other ones, well, we'll just have to try our luck and see what happens. And that's it for our attacks. So let's roll those out right now. Let's roll our ships here, battlecruiser being purple and the cruiser being blue here, and see if we get any land bombardment shots. And that's a big nope, so worth a shot. Airborne, attacks at a 3 the first round. And look at that, he got a hit. So that's all we need. And we will also roll his defense, which will be 4 or less. And that's a big miss. So we take Norway away from the British, or the French resistance rather. Now I've already adjusted the income here, and we'll put this where it rightfully belongs. I moved it down because we thought we had earned it, but we didn't actually last turn. So 56, so we should be up to 57. Or maybe I didn't, but I did take the $1 off. So 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so we're at 57. This is just to help me with my bonuses. So we should be at 63 at the end of this currently. And now let's go over to Iraq and see what we got. All right, we'll take another tray. And why don't we roll southern Iraq right now? So we have 2 cavalry going into desert, so they're going to be going down -1. And then we have 1 militia defending in desert. So cavalry will be 2 or less. And those are misses, and then he gets to roll a defense roll at 2 or less. That's a 12. We'll roll our attacks again. Misses. He'll roll his defense. Miss. We'll roll our attacks again. We do have a hit, so that's good. And southern Iraq will roll a defensive roll and get a 4, and that's a big old miss. So southern Iraq falls to Russian conquest with no losses there. Now further north in Azerbaijan, we're attacking, same again, 2 infantry going into the desert, -1. So technically we do have a hit with the cavalry, so that's all we need, but I will roll the fighter just in case. And we do have a hit there too, just for assurances. Now this is 1 infantry in northern Iraq, so it's 3 or less, or 4 or less I should say, and that's a miss as well. So with our devastating losses in southern Iran, this makes up for having no losses in northern Iraq. So we are going to be taking this territory as well too, which is also worth 1. And then we have this plane that has to fly back, and it has a movement space of 3 left. So we'll put that down there as a reminder for our non-combats. And let's go check out the income board. Forgive the mess, been very busy as of late. So now we're gonna go up 1, 2 to 59, and our bonuses 1, 2, once again. So that's where we're at. Yeah, so that takes care of that. Now I believe all our attacks have been done. Let's do non-combat movements. Let's start in the Far East here. Move this transport here, go 1, which I think it's 1, 2 sea zones, into Vladivostok, into port there, down there. We're gonna move 1 infantry here from Amur, up into Primorsky Krai, which will be there. So now we'll have a total of 3 infantry. We'll have 1 infantry from Chita move up to Amur. So now we have 1 in Chita, 1 in Amur. And down here, we are going to do some non-combats. We're going to move the 7th Army from northern Norway, and that comprises 1 artillery, 2 infantry, and 1 motorized, and move on over into Trondelag. There. This tactical bomber will land in Trondelag to help support that army moving into Norway. This transport can only move 3 spaces back. 1, 2, 3. No, 1. Actually, I think what the transport will do, it'll stay here and land in that zone as well, back into the territory. We have 2 Strat bombers. They're going to be heading south to their max range. They're going to be moving here from Lapland into Viipuri province into Leningrad, picking up 2 airborne from Leningrad. And we're going to be going a max of 4 more. 1 into northern Belarusia, 2 in Smolensk, 3 into Oral-Kursk, 4 into the Donets Basin. And they'll be down here in this area with 2 Strat bombers leading the way. And that's where they have landed. We will take the medium bomber out of Leningrad and fly south as well. We have an air base, so we can move 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Should make it all the way to Transcaucasia. We have 2 Marines currently there in Transcaucasia, which I'm going to put them with the 9th Army, which is right up here. We are then going to move a rail. Actually, no, we can't rail, so we're going to move these units here, out of here, move 1, because it can only move 1 into the mountains. And that's 1 mechanized and 1 medium armor going into Azerbaijan. And then we are going to have this fighter fly back 3 spaces. It's going to go down into southern Iran. Then on top of that, what other movements are we going to do here? We're going to move this motorized in Moscow, and it's going to move up into... actually, I think it's going to do a southern route. Go 1, 2 down here into Kalmatska, just south of Stalingrad. And I think that's it for now. Yes, I think that's it for our non-combat movements. Just going to peruse any other sectors. I think that should be good. Yes. Okay, so now we're going to place units. So we have built 3 militia, and these, we'll do our strategic rail movement. Probably should have done that before. We're moving our factory from Oral-Kursk and moving it all the way down to Transcaucasia. And that's why we couldn't build anything or use that as our tech roll this turn. We're going to be moving 3 militia down here into Azerbaijan. I'm going to build, because we do have rail systems all the way down there, 1 down here into southern Iran and 1 into northern Iran. We have 2 mountains we're building. These 2 mountains are going to be put into Transcaucasia. which is the 9th Army. So they'll go with the Marines that are currently in there. And then we're going to build one factory. And this one factory is going to be going into southern Iran. And the Ismail and Svetsky Soyuz are going to be laid down on the construction queue, along with some other great battleships of their time. Bada bing, bada boom. And what else do we have? We also have our Lend-Lease. So I think our closest port will be Eastern Germany for this Strat bomber. I believe that's where he wanted it. If not, I could be wrong. And then our medium bomber will be going into northern Italy for the Italians, because I know they're great fans of us. Okay, guys, this is it. This is the turn. I don't think we missed any die rolls. We did everything we could for the C.C.P. We are now collecting, looks like $65. No, it should be more than that. We're at 59. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope, 65. We are at $65 this turn, guys, and exciting. Okay, guys, we'll see you for turn 12.2. But go check out Winnimute's turn and see what the Japanese have in store down there. Because the Americans, they are coming. Their submarine fleet is coming across the ocean. So we will see what happens for Wintermute's next turn. Take care, guys. Stay classy, and we'll talk soon. Cheers.